Hey y'all, welcome to part one of Zest Holiday Readiness Series. I'm Liz, head of marketing here, and I'll be your host. This series is all about helping online brands get their gifting channel in top shape for massive success this holiday season. And as the platform behind the gifting curtain, we get to see what really works for brands and drive some of those serious gift sales. So to kick us off, we're going to start with gifting landing pages. If there's one thing you get to do this holiday season to prepare your gifting channel for the influx of shoppers, it's this. After all, it's where most shoppers are going to start their gifting journey, so it just makes sense for us to start there too. I'm going to run through some of our favorite real-life landing pages, about 10 of them, then put all those best practices into one place for y'all to mull over at the end. And I hope this helps you out and shares some inspiration. So let's dive in. We're going to start with Levain Bakery. As you could tell, we've been on this page for a minute now. And you can access their corporate gifting page right from their main menu here. Nice and clear, corporate gifts, no fuss, no muss. And then they have a really great, clean, concise, on-brand corporate gifting page. And it clearly lays out their two main options here. And they refer to it as DIY ordering. You're going to see as we go through these landing pages that some brands call it something else depending on what is going to resonate most with their audience. So it's really up to you what you want to call it. And you can even try some things out. But I would definitely use the vocabulary that your customers tend to be using when they're coming to you for these types of gifts or asking if you have this service available. So Levain calls it DIY ordering, and they have a lot of great proof points on their page, some testimonials, some more CTAs, logos, all that good stuff, and a nice and tidy frequently asked questions section. And that's the bulk of their page. We just love this because it's very on brand, it's very effective, and the CTAs are very clear. Next, we're going to go through to Teak and Twine. So you can see here, Teak and Twine, well-known gift box company. They have great stuff, and right in their corporate gifting section, they call it ready to ship gifting as opposed to the DIY gifting that Levain was calling it. And I really like this because they have just a big, obvious CTA right in the header. It's the whole image, and this goes right to their Zest-powered corporate gifting storefront. Ready to ship gifts, stress-free, speedy, and they use this language throughout this page. These are clearly the benefits that they think their customers are looking for, and it works. Again, some proof points like Levain had testimonials, and then I also really like this page. Move my little head here. I also really like this page because they're one of the few brands that actually uses screenshots of what to expect when a customer can go into the storefront. So as you can see, they broke it down into 3 easy steps, again, leaning into like, this is really fast, this is really easy. You're going to pick out your gift, you're going to make it personal, you're going to schedule it, and you're going to be golden for the holiday season. Again, some more testimonials down here. And then we wrap up with another self-serve gifting FAQ. Clean, tidy, very concise. Love this page. Love the pictures. Next, we're going to go into Milk Bar. Milk Bar is a little bit different. They have corporate gifts, just boom, front and center in their main nav. And right here you can see this is what they have. They call it corporate and group gifting. Group gifting is another term that we also hear a lot on our side. A lot of shoppers are looking for different like group gifting solutions. And so this is also a great piece of vocabulary to include on your page if that is what you're up to. Something I really love about this page, though, is that it's corporate and group gifting. They refer to it as self-service here. And then they go into a bit more detail down here in these 2 main call-out sections for their self-service and their concierge. This is a bit of a heavy chunk of copy, but I think it works. They tap on all the main benefits here, the e-gifting or the physical, and then these like 4 concise sort of bullet points down here about what you can expect with self-serve gifting. But then they have more CTAs in order to capture more customers who might be using that different vocabulary coming to this page. So the self-service orders, here's a CTA going to their storefront. And then e-gifts, a separate call out. I love that they did this because a lot of shoppers, since this is relatively new, might not know that an e-gift is involved with the self-service or the DIY gifting method. So specifically calling out, hey, you want to send an e-gift? This is the place to go. Some more proof points and an FAQ, good old FAQ. Next, we'll dive down to De Bruno Bros. I love that they have a call out to corporate gifting right in their main header here. And this is a rotating image, and they have several CTAs throughout the site. They also have this banner up top for corporate gifting made easy, goes right into their corporate gifting page. But here you go into their gifting section. It's the first thing in their menu, and right into corporate gifting. And same thing. I love that they break down how you can do gifting on their site from their corporate storefronts, their concierge storefront, or their concierge service, and even here, their effortless gifting 1 to 10 recipients. This is the new Zest multi-ship checkout for consumer gifting. So this is for those smaller gift orders right in the Shopify checkout, and I love that they call it out here on this page as well. And as you can guess, a more expanded FAQ, and this is really great because, like I said, gifting is going to be like a relatively newer experience, especially the self-serve gifting is going to be a newer experience for your shoppers. And having FAQs like this really sets them up for, one, not bogging down your customer support team with questions, but also just reassures them that this is going to be a really good experience, and here's what you can expect every step of the way. Next, going to go to Dandelion Chocolate, corporate gifting again, right here in their top menu. And they lay out all their different options right in this drop down. They use the self-serve gifting terminology, and it just goes right to their corporate storefront. I also like, though, if we go back, if I go to their corporate gifting page, just clicking on that header here, it goes to here. I like that they call out the difference in their self-serve gifting in this little header right above everything, this little title. So self-serve gifting is ready to ship, as opposed to the alternative, which is their more concierge service, their bespoke impressions, but that's going to be a 4-week lead time. And I think that is a really fast, easy way for the shopper to differentiate, like, what's the difference between these two services? Do I have 4+ weeks of lead time to afford to this gifting adventure, or do I need to ship it now? I think that's a really cool call out. Caroline's Cakes is a really great, first of all, really great cakes. If you haven't had them, amazing. Again, corporate gifting, accessible right here in their top menu. And that's, like, as you can see, a theme across these brands, making it very evident where to go when they're looking for a corporate gift. And Caroline's Cakes is a little different in is that they showcase their different storefronts here. So I think this is really effective. They have a corporate storefront just for their cakes, and then a separate one for cake bites. So it's really not a bad idea to consider these sort of specialized storefronts. And I even go as far to say, like, hey, you could have a storefront for every holiday. You could have a Christmas storefront, a Hanukkah storefront, a New Year's celebration storefront, and you could have special sales going on in those specific storefronts and link to those throughout your site, on your gifting pages, all that stuff. They also have a nice video instruction here. So as opposed to like Teak and Twine, where you saw those screenshots, here they have more of a thorough like walkthrough for what to expect if you're using this experience. Good Ranchers, again, gifting right here front and center. And I call them out because this is the gifting landing page. So if you're looking for like a lighter lift or have more of a minimalist theme or just want to like get to the point, their gifting landing page actually has their gifts featured in their Zest powered storefront right here on the page. And this is the extent of the benefits, like the main benefits they're calling out. This little header here, premium gift boxes, boom. And then their 3 main benefits of you can send an e-gift, you can schedule the delivery, and you can add a gift message. Here, clear, concise, let's get to the gifting. This is a different approach to sort of this gifting landing page, and I really like it. I think it's really effective. Flamingo Estate, again, right here, main menu, you can see. I love that they are like super on brand. The voice, the tone, the imagery of this page is just like screaming Flamingo Estate, which makes sense. Everything they do is like extremely thoughtful. And I really like that they do call out their different types of gifting here. And they can do these bulk orders, and that goes to their bulk order storefront. They can go to their multiple recipient storefront here. I like that they call out like tracking gifts, what that sort of post gifting experience is like for you and your recipients. That's kind of new. And then I also like that they highlight some gifts on this page. And if you click on a gift, it goes to their gifting storefront. And this is pre-selected, put in the cart, really great. And of course they have, if you want something more bespoke, more concierge, so you can reach them there. But I really like this, the gifting call out right on the landing page there. And next, I'm going to go to Cliff Family Winery, another like Zest OG. We love working with them. Awesome partner. Gifting right in the main menu. And again, this is just a really clean, clear gifting landing page that's right on brand. They recently refreshed their website. It looks awesome. And here they call out exactly like group gifting, clear CTA right in the header here. And then they have their customized gifting clearly called out, their self-service gifting clearly called out, e-gifting is called out, and then virtual experience is another thing that they offer. Talking about their most popular gift sets. Hey, if you're short on ideas, here are some things you could gift. It's really great. And it's another clean, clear, accessible, easy, convenient, accessible, gifting landing page. And lastly, I'm going to finish up with a fishwife. So gifts right there in the second spot of their nav, can go to their corporate gifting page here. And again, super fun, super on brand, short and simple here, ready to ship gifts. I think that might be like the second time we've seen that sort of terminology, but again, leaning into it's really easy to send gifts to a lot of people in one go, add your personalized message, track of the gifts. Again, that post-gifting experience is called out here, which is really important. And then they do their gift concierge as well. Again, like the last few examples called out, love that they put some examples of some of their best gifts here, or their most giftable options, I guess, right here, and a little FAQ. So the main takeaways here are going to be rub gifting in everyone's face. Seriously, make your gifting options obvious, really easy to find. Like I mentioned, this is a relatively new experience for a lot of your shoppers who are used to really long processes, links buried in the footer, or just having to contact a brand directly to be like, what are the options here? So putting gifts and gifting in your main menu as a standalone category or in a drop-down of some sort, or in your header, your page banners, all that stuff. All of that is a foolproof way to get more people to your gifting pages so they understand your options and buy more gifts. We also recommend putting the main benefits to your gifting experience on this landing page. It seems like a no-brainer, but as you can see, different brands had like slightly nuanced ways of how they would talk about gifting or the benefits that they would specifically call out. So you might feel like a big paragraph is the best way to explain what's going on, but a lot of people aren't going to read that. We recommend making those benefits succinct and specific to your audience. So for instance, if your audience skews younger, maybe hype up e-gifting and the fact that they can text gifts to all their coworkers or something like that, all their friends, all their family. If your audience is always getting addresses, having issues getting addresses and sending those to people, we would really recommend pointing out like the bulk address uploader and how easy that is. The key is to get shoppers into the gifting experience faster, because once they're in, they get it, they come back for more. We also recommend tossing in some images. If folks aren't going to read, pictures are the main steps. It could help your shoppers feel more at ease, feel like they really got this, feel more confident going into the gifting experience, and just gives them a taste of what to expect. And those images we recommend, we'll talk about this later in the series, but also putting them in some emails, letting people know how easy this is. And I talked about it a bunch, adding an FAQ section to this page. Thoughtful FAQ on the landing page does all the things that a good FAQ does anywhere else on your site. It educates, builds trust, lets folks know what to expect, all that good stuff when you want them to click right through, load up their cart, check out, all that stuff. And then this also seems like a no-brainer, but make it on brand. One of the biggest and most fixable issues with outdated gifting flows is how off-brand they are, how off-brand they can feel. Your customers are used to your really easy to use, super accessible website. They love your super optimized checkout flow when they're shopping for themselves. The post-purchase experience is awesome, but when they want a gift, they're hit with like no way to do so right in the checkout, or they're redirected to a landing page that looks like it hasn't been touched since 2001. Or they're just met with like, you have to pick up the phone and call this number, and that just is such a turnoff for shoppers today. So taking a bit of time before the holiday rush to get your gifting page up to speed and on brand is really a priceless move. And those are our top tips. I'm going to link all of these pages in the video description below in case you want to like click through them and get some more information. Like I said, we know everyone is crunched for time right now. So if you were going to do one thing, this would really be it. Updating or publishing a landing page all about gifting and your options for the first time is one of the surefire things you should do to make sure you have a really successful holiday season, because that's what you want, that's what we want. And we can do this together. All of these brands are crushing it so far in their gifting game, and we want everyone to be able to do that too and feel that success. So like I said, I'll link all these pages in the description, and I hope you continue on your inspiration journey here as we head into the holidays. And I will see you next week for part 2.